everyone, I'm Brian.
And I'm Nikki.
And we are Cooking with the Cotas.
So he's a finance guy with very little cooking experience.
And she is a culinary trained registered dietitian. And together, we're going to teach you and me how to cook in the kitchen. So what are we making today, Nikki?
We're actually going to be making a gluten-free dish today. Are you excited?
It's going to be a no for me, dog.
While typically I'd be upset that he did ditch me just now, I'm actually not today. And the reason being, we have a special guest that is proficient in cooking gluten-free meals. So let's introduce her. So here is Mel, very excited to be here and to show us some gluten-free options.
We have a lot of things in common that we bonded over, one being gymnastics, artsy things, nutrition.
And our height. We're both pretty short. This is nice having someone at equal height compared to Brian. And being a dietitian, when I heard that Melissa ate gluten-free, I was very interested, and that's another, big way that we bonded. And so I figured it'd be best to bring her on today so she can show us certain meals and techniques that she's done in the past that we can bring to you today.
I do eat gluten-free, but I am not what's called a celiac. I am gluten sensitive though, and I've been eating gluten-free for about 4 years now. Something that irritates me about eating gluten-free, other than there not being a lot of options, is when I go to restaurants and I try to find certain options and I don't get them.
Yeah, and so not being celiac, what she means by that is she doesn't have the autoimmune disorder that can actually damage the villi in your intestines. That's something that helps you absorb nutrients. So people with celiac, if they're not avoiding gluten, they can actually have nutritional deficiencies because of the damage it does on the villi. A lot of people may think eating gluten-free is healthier. That's not necessarily the case unless they do have symptoms or have celiac disease. So certain gluten-free products could have a lot of added sugars or added fats or whatnot that may make the food taste good, but it doesn't make it any healthier. So I just wanted to bring that to your attention so you're aware.
Today, we are going to make a ramen recipe that my husband and I came up with. And I'm super excited because when I go to certain restaurants that have ramen on the menu, they most likely don't have gluten-free options. So I'm excited to bring this recipe to you today as an option that you can do at home.
Awesome, so let's get our mise en place. All right, so we have everything we need for our ramen dish right in front of us. The first thing we have is our beef. We chose a beef tenderloin for this dish, and the reason being, it does have some good marbling, so that's the fat that's woven throughout, and that does help bring a lot of good flavor to this. And prior to this video, we just salted the top, bottom, and some of the sides just to help release some of the blood and the juices from the meat so it does sear better.
Yeah, and we chose beef for this video because I really like the beef ramen and it's a good source of iron. Mm-hmm. But you can also make pork and make, either a vegetable broth or a chicken broth to go along with it, or chicken as well, not just beef.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and so with that we have some other good flavors with this. We have green onions, which are going to be in the dish as well as a garnish. And we also have mushrooms. These are actually dried shiitake mushrooms that are going to go in the broth. This is going to bring it a lot of good flavor.
We have the shiitake mushrooms here in full form, but we did put them in a food processor and grinded them up into a powder. Now you can find it already as a powder in the store, but if you can't and you can only find them whole dried shiitake mushrooms, then you can put them in a food processor and make your own powder at home.
Awesome, yeah. And we have some seaweed. We just chose a dried seaweed here for garnish, and then some bean sprouts for garnish as well.
Over here, we have one of the main ingredients, obviously, of our ramen dish, which is the ramen noodles. It is hard to find gluten-free ramen noodles, but this is a popular brand by Lotus Foods, and it is a rice ramen, so the noodles are rice. And then we have our beef bouillon for the broth. Now this bouillon is not specified as gluten-free, so it doesn't have the gluten-free certified symbol on it. So if you are celiac, you do need to be careful with that, and you'll probably need to find a bouillon that is certified gluten-free. However, this bouillon doesn't have any ingredients in it that are gluten. It just, you know, isn't certified gluten-free. Then we have our minced garlic that's gonna go with our green onions for an infused oil that will go at the bottom of our bowl. And then we have our soy sauce that will be mixed in with the oil before we prepare the rest of our ramen.
Got it all?
Yep.
All right, so let's get cooking. So the meat has rested for about 10 minutes. Resting the meat does help redistribute all of the juices. So you can slice it on an angle, but we're gonna slice it straight down. You want these slices to be thin so that they are easier to eat in your ramen.
Now we have all of our stuff here and we are ready to put it all together. First is we're going to put our soy sauce in here. We're gonna use our infused garlic and green onion oil, and we're gonna do about a tablespoon of that. Then afterwards, we're gonna put our broth in there. You can do as much or as little broth as you would like. And then we're gonna put our noodles in here. And now we get to do one of my favorite parts, which is the toppings. So we're gonna put our green onions, about half in there. Half of a hard boiled, or you can also soft boil your egg. Some bean sprouts, some nori or seaweed, and then our steak.
All right, so we just finished our ramen. Doesn't it look beautiful? Mm-hmm. It tastes just as good as it looks, and you saw how simple it was, right?
Yeah, so simple.
So simple, a lot of good flavors with very minimal ingredients. So we hope this is something easy that you can make in your home so you can ditch that packet of ramen that you usually see in the grocery stores.
Yes. And if you, for whatever reason, don't want to use the gluten-free noodles, you can also use any other type of noodles that you'd like as well.
Yep, definitely. So we're gonna enjoy this. Brian isn't here right now, so although he's one of the Cotas, this Cota's gonna be the only one trying it along with Mel. So we really hope you try it and enjoyed watching this video today, and we'll catch you next time.
Be sure to hit the like button and subscribe, and comment down below if you have any ideas for recipes or you'd like something for Nikki and Brian to try out next time. All right, bye.